Okay, so let's go to what he said and why a lot of urban folk are really upset with him for saying this.
Want to happen. That you on the right said you want it to happen. With the borders being closed, supposedly that being handled. With migrants being escorted out of this country in droves, according to you, and what you wanted. You're in an uproar off the Epstein list. That's all you've got? It's really, really surprising that this matters. Of course, I think there's a list, but I don't know. I suspect, but I have no knowledge, nor do I care. It's Friday night. I'm getting ready to go out and enjoy myself. I'm getting ready to have a nice weekend. I can give a damn about the Epstein client list. This has no effect on me whatsoever.
Where's the line? What he said? Now, I saw Ticket TV, and he was very upset at Stephen A. Smith, and everybody in the comments was basically accusing Stephen A. Smith of not caring about the children. It's not that he doesn't care about the children, but listen, guns, drugs, bodies, 3 global commodities that will not be disrupted. Okay, if you had to stop and worry and think about every child, man, woman, and child that has been snatched against their will, you would not get any sleep. You can only worry about things you can control. Once again, worry about the uncle that touched you, the auntie that touched you, the cousin that touched you. The Epstein file is none of your business. And he makes another very good point. Even if the list came out, then what? What y'all gonna do? You still gotta go to work, still gotta pay these bills. Nothing will change. Okay? You're still gonna support and buy their products, clothes, vehicles, whatever the case may be. You're gonna buy their Bitcoin. All right? But let him play it out.
I have a life. I don't understand for the life of me why this matters so much to these. I'm talking about people losing it. They're crying on camera. They're talking about resignations. They're pissed off about everything. I'm like, really? With all the stuff going on in this country, with all the power that you possess because of the cachet and the influence you have because of your connection to this administration, that's why you upset at Trump? I didn't blame Trump one bit for looking at them and saying, really? That really matters to you? That's really that important? Now, maybe he had a different reason for saying it, trying to be evasive or whatever. I don't know. But I do know this. In the grand scheme of things, it ain't going to affect the lives of over 2 to 300 million Americans. I think we'll be just fine without knowing whether or not there was really, really a client list. I think we'll be okay. It's unbelievable that this is a big deal to me. It really is.
Well, and I'll tell you what, it ain't going away anytime soon. You know why? Chicka, chinga, chicka, chicka, ching. Everybody's accounts are going to pop the longer they stay mad at it, so we're nowhere near the end of the cycle. Stephen A. Smith, you have a beautiful weekend, and thank you for making your witness here with me. I appreciate it.
You do the same.
I agree with everything he said, and then some. The client list is none of my business because I'm not in business with none of those men. And even if, what am I going to do with it? What am I going to do about it? Not do business with these people? So who would you rather do business with? People that traffic guns, drugs, or bodies? The guns that are sold and pumped into the streets and put in the hands of children that kill each other, right? The drugs that are pumped into the hands of people, children, and they use the drugs and OD, whatever the case may be. The bodies that go missing. You don't care. You don't care. Matter of fact, I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna do this. Ticket TV, nigga, you mad for the wrong? Why are you mad? I don't understand this. Like, he was legit up, like Stephen A's a coon this, coon that. You remember, I make money, I wake up trying to make money for my bosses. Okay, that's his reality. That's his reality. Like, what Stephen A. Smith says and does should not bother y'all to this degree. Like, he was highly upset about Stephen A's take on the Epstein thing. Like, you don't care about children? That's not what he said. That's not what he said. We got bigger fish to fry. I can't worry about everybody else's kids. I can only worry about the ones that I control. Now, if I know you and I got access to your kid and he needs help, then I got you. But for the most part, it's my kid against your kid. What are we talking about, man? Listen to how angry he is. Like, bro, why you should not be this upset over this man's opinion, over something that's above everybody's pay grade that's commenting on this. So so what if Bob Iger's name is on a client list and he owns Disney? What do you expect Stephen A to say? I'm going to resign from working for you because your name's on a client list? Fuck out of here, man. Remember, we had all the celebrities who all used his plane to go wherever they needed to go, right? I never said they went to Epstein Island. I said they did. They were on the list, flight manifest, on an airplane called the Flying Lolita. Okay, Lolita there's a whole slew of erotic novels based off of Lolita, which is an underage girl, teen. She's given like 15, 16. You know what? Hold on. Wait. That's not it. I'm gonna find it. Oh, here we go. Okay, now let me show y'all what the Lolita thing is. What is a Lolita? Okay. Here we go. In the English-speaking term, Lolita is primarily associated with Vladimir Nabokov's 1955 novel Lolita. The novel tells the story of an adult man's obsession with a 12-year-old girl named Dolores Hayes, whom he calls Lolita. Okay. The Western literary use of Lolita carries sexual connotations due to the novel's subject matter. All right. And these are all the different types of Lolitas. Right? Sweet Lolita is more of a youthful, doll-like aesthetic. Gothic Lolita, Gothic elements, blah, blah, blah. Okay? English language term defining a young girl as precociously seductive. Here we go. However, contemporary writers typically use the term Lolita to portray a young girl who attracts adult desire as complicit rather than victimized. Okay? Justifying his attraction to a 12-year-old Lolita, Humbert claims it was a natural response to the demoniac nature of children who attract him. It's their fault he's attracted to them. You understand? Okay? According to Humbert, it's their fault he's attracted to them. Okay? Who attract him. Young girls who attract adult sexual desire are called Lolitas. Now, everybody has been on that plane from Jay-Z to Chris Tucker, and we're talking about urban folk, yes? Did y'all cancel urban folk? No, you did not. Now, let me get back to Ticket TV. This man is irate. I don't know this dude. He came across my algorithm. I'm like, oh, interesting title. Let me see what because it said very bad news on Stephen A. Smith. I was like, well, okay, what did he do? Because I didn't catch anything that he did or said. I didn't know he's in trouble. Well, let's go.
If you guys want to support the channel, y'all can. Everybody should just move on. In fact, Donald Trump had a press conference to which he is getting slandered, and I'm absolutely slammed by his own supporters. A lot of his supporters, he's losing support within his own base off this issue, and a lot of people are trying to figure out why, and it's because people care about the youth. They care about the youngest. They care about those people being protected.
Okay, these people don't care. Okay, everybody that's making a stink out of this, deal with the molesters in your own family first. Then come talk to me about you ready to go to their mansions and their villas and with the tiki torches and pitchforks. Average person in America has not dealt with the molester in their own family. This is silly. This is nonsensical. Like, you mad for what?
And I have no issue with that. I think that that's something that should be 100% honored and 100% looked after is the youngins. So when you have a situation like that, people are going to be sensitive to that situation. In comes Stephen A. Smith, who's been playing politics for the last couple of years now, as he tries to lean into the political game, as he has aspirations to be president of the United States. Whether he wants to come out and completely say it or not, he's already hinted to that. He's been doing town halls. He's been doing all of these different things to show you guys that is where he wants to
get to it.
But Stephen A. Smith has gotten himself in very big trouble now because he is getting absolutely eviscerated online for some comments that he made and his insensitivity. And I'm pretty sure he'll have an apology coming very, very soon because what he said was reprehensible in the eyes of a lot of people. Now
y'all heard what he said. Now, I didn't hear anything reprehensible. But come on.
You guys don't know what I'm talking about. You guys can, I'll quote right here from the article, and I will then play audio for you guys of Stephen A. Smith. Now, the link to this article will be posted in the chat room, pinned at the top of the chat, and in the description box. Stephen A. Smith is now saying that the American public should not care about the Epstein files or the Epstein list. He has also stated that he believes there is a list, but who cares about that? There's other things that are going on, like, let me mention what he stated. On a recent appearance on News Nation, sports commentator Stephen A. Smith sparked controversy by asserting that Americans should not care about the Jeffrey Epstein files, despite acknowledging their likely existence. His remarks made during a discussion about the ongoing fascination with the Epstein.
And when he said what he said, and then what did he end up following up with? What's it going to change? What's it going to change? Nothing. This shit is above our pay grade. Okay, sorry, Prince Andrew's not going to jail behind the suspicious death of Virginia Guffrey and God knows whoever else was connected with that case. Stop. This is dumb.
Documents have reignited debate about the significance of the files
and
their
relevance
relevance to the public.
He shouldn't.
This article will examine Stephen A. Smith's comments, the context of his News Nation appearance, and the implications of his stance on a case that continues to captivate and polarize. During his News Nation segment on July 10, 2025, Stephen A. Smith addressed the persistent public interest in the Epstein files, documents tied to the late financier.
Okay.
Over the protection and what most people perceive as protection of the youth. And he's getting cremated for this online. And I'm gonna play y'all the audio of what he said just so y'all can hear it. He went on to argue that a majority of Americans, hundreds of millions, by his estimate, are indifferent to the files because they have no direct bearing on their daily struggle. Stephen A. Smith.
And where's the line? What he said? What did I say? Most people don't care about nothing until it hits their front doorstep or somebody extremely close to them, right? The big beautiful bill, right? Everybody's harping on all the cuts. It's gonna affect all the kids that's gonna lose access to Medicaid, whatever. Okay, y'all don't care about them kids unless it's somebody directly tied to you. You don't care about the old people losing health care unless it's somebody directly tied to you, right? You don't worry about the inflation until you got to go to the grocery store and be like, God damn, shit, steak is what, $20 a pound now? So unless it directly affects you, you don't care. That's most humans. So these comments, of course no one's going to agree with me, but look at this. Buck dancing for non-black acceptance never ends well. I'm glad you exposed Stephen. He's another money over everything kind of guy. That's most people. But for him to verbalize his lack of morality was hard to listen to. It's not a moral issue. He's a fool and he's wrong. Americans do care about this issue. We can't let up. No, you don't. Okay? I hope he stands firm. Do not apologize. Okay? Do not apologize, Stephen A. Smith. You said nothing wrong. Ticket TV, you dead ass wrong. Bruh, get out. Why are you so upset over this man's opinion of how the reality of the Epstein? Where's the? Let's do this. Flying Lolita flight log. Who was all on this bad boy? Look at this. Clinton, Trump, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, Naomi Campbell, y'all. Naomi Campbell. Why do you don't care about this? Yeah, you don't care about this. It's just fake outrage, man. Look at this. President Bill Clinton, Pete Rathgeb, Doug Bands, Janice Jessica. Pete's been on this plane a whole lot. Some guy named Greg Carpenter. Like, what are we doing right now? Like, seriously, right now? Like, nobody can. No, it's not. No. Let them white folk that, once again, all the poor white folk that I told you that Trump's going to stab y'all in the back and twist that dagger and have you all fooled. They're the ones upset about this. Who the hell's Diane Fleetwood? Look at this. Chris Tucker, Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey. Right? What are we talking about, man? You worry about the Epstein files. How about the people flying on an airplane named after an underage girl? We don't worry about that. That's not the same. It's not the same. I get it. Not the same. I get it. Andrea Metrovich, Ryan Dion. I mean, okay, sure. Jean-Luc Brunel. Sound familiar? Jean-Luc Brunel. Michael Liffman. This thing is 112 pages. I'm not going to go through all this, but you see where I'm going with this, right? You see where I'm going with this. Cindy Lopez. All right. You see where I'm going with this? Okay, so I'm not understanding why homeboy is mad at
You are a fool, and you are a damn fool. Because I'm gonna tell you something. It has something to do with most all of Americans, because most all of Americans who have families have what they call kids. And if people who are in high positions making major decisions were a part of one of the most vile, despicable, disgraceful acts in American history, brother man.
You hear this?
Well, what would that mean, Stephen A? What would that mean? But you only care about money because you said this on ESPN. You wake up and think about how much money you can make your bosses and then what you can get for yourself. Okay. You said that.
Yeah.
We won't forget those comments. I told you guys, man. So this dude is letting y'all know where he's standing. I'm gonna play the audio in just a second. Wait for it. So he says, again, that hundreds of millions of Americans, by his estimate, not by factual estimate, by what he thinks, are indifferent to the files because they have no direct bearing on their daily struggles. I believe the files are probably real, says Stephen A. Smith. So he even acknowledges that he thinks that the files are real. But what is it going to do for us? It's going to get us justice, Stephen A. Smith. It's going to show transparency, Stephen A. Smith.
Get us justice? Who's us? Transparency? Does Ticket TV forget the government that's in charge? I'm sorry. What? Homeboy, no, bro, that's not how this works. Come on. I know Ticket TV is way too sharp to be falling for this, to be this upset over the reality that this man spoke over. Once again, deal with the people that touch you in your own family. Okay, Epstein files list above everybody's pay grade. It's a whole different club. You're not invited. No, you ever will be. They don't even want your kids. How about that, huh? They don't even want your kids. They want somebody else's kids. Go figure. Yeah.
It's going to show the people who are locked in with that demon, Stephen A. Smith, that committed some of the most heinous acts in American history, sir. But we know you don't care, and that's why I'm going to cook your ass through the hard way. And those statements you made, and I'm looking at the comments because it got deeper than that, because somebody brought up something. I'm going to tell y'all what's going on with Stephen A. Smith. When he walked himself into a bad situation. Now, he says, I believe the files are probably real, but what's it going to do for us? Are we going to stop working, stop living? It's not like it's going to fix inflation or the Texas floods, he said, referencing the recent economic and environmental changes. His comments echo sentiments expressed by former President Donald J. Trump.
Okay, you only worry about things that you can control. I'm leaving it there. I can't. You know, that's what he chooses to spaz on and have an aneurysm over. God bless him. But that's just stupid. That's a very juvenile take. Okay. Let's go. Jeffrey Epstein transferred or willed. We'll get down this rabbit hole. $577 million in assets to his brother Mark 2 days before his death, per 2019 court papers. Mark supposedly claimed Jeffrey's body and buried it unmarked next to parents in Palm Beach, with names removed. Like I said, take everything I present with a grain of salt. Okay, let's go. Let's see.
I think the reason that many people who are in positions of responsibility in the government might not want this disclosed is I think it has the possibility at a moment when the dollar reserve currency status is in flux and people are feeling pretty sensitive about it. I think if the truth about Epstein came out, those files would lead to a truth about the money that's disappeared out the back door in the federal government, and the truth about Operation Warp Speed and why the agency missing $20 trillion is running around demanding we inject mysterious ingredients in people's body, which this administration continues to promote. I think it will help people integrate the dots between the missing money and Operation Warp Speed in a way that really threatens the financial system. You know, it's one thing to manage the dollar successfully. It's another thing to try and manage it when people know your sort of covert tricks. And of course, that covert trick threatens Americans' retirement savings in a very deep and bad way. We don't have a debt problem, we have a robbery problem. And I think if too many Americans connect the dots, many people feel it would be dangerous for the financial system.
I don't think they're worried about Americans to that degree. I don't think Epstein is dead to begin with. But okay. She says the truth about Epstein will reveal where the missing trillion. So 20 trillion went missing. Okay, sure. Great. Okay, cool. Okay, so here's a pretty good breakdown here. Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein did not directly transfer over $500 million to his brother, Mark, before his death. Instead, on August 8th, 2019, 2 days before his death, Epstein signed a will that placed his entire estate, valued at approximately $577 million, into a trust named the 1953 Trust. This trust was designed to shield his assets and obscure the identities of beneficiaries, making it harder for creditors or victims to access the funds directly. The will listed Mark Epstein as the sole heir, meaning he would have inherited the estate if no trust had been established. But the trust creation redirected the assets to its terms, not directly to Mark. Okay. Let's see. Legal battles and settlements with victims have since reduced the estate's value to about $185 million by January 2022, with ongoing costs for legal fees and property upkeep. Interesting. Okay, Epstein's niece, Anya Wick Epstein. Okay, let's go look her up. Oh, she says who she says she is. No, okay. Anywho. So yeah, I'm not understanding everybody being upset over something you have no control over. And I said this years ago, they'll never give you the satisfaction of watching them bring their own people down. This shit will take place behind the scenes. You'll never be privy to it, right? They'll bring down a Diddy or Jay-Z, but not one of their own. Like, they're not gonna give you the satisfaction of seeing their own go down like that in front of y'all, like, cause they feel you don't deserve to know or deserve to see it. I found, okay, I'm so glad I stayed with it. Listen, you think these people give a damn about the Epstein files and the flying Lolita? There's coming here. Hey. Do you hear them singing that word for word? Look at that shit. You think people give a damn about the Epstein files, man? Look at this shit. Look at that. Look at that stadium. Are you kidding me? Look at that. It's lit up. Ticket TV. Nobody cares, bruh. I hate to say this. Nobody cares about the Epstein files, nor should you. Look at that. I mean, from top to bottom. Do you understand? Jesus. Look at the size of that fucking stadium. Easy peasy. All right, I'm out. That's my show, man.